Hey everyone, it's your boy Modern Speed bringing you another video, and in this video we're going to be going over the round 2 Eastern Conference prediction for the 2017 NBA playoffs. And quite frankly, I like these matchups right now. Now, in the last round in the Eastern Conference, I did get one of the matchups wrong, the Atlanta Hawks and the Washington Wizards. I said the Hawks would have taken it. Washington proved me wrong and they got in. So, you know what? Let's go with that. But hey, 3 out of 4, that's not that bad. That's not that bad. Anyways, let's start off with it, and we're going to start off with the Boston Celtics and Washington Wizards and how that series is going to go down. And you know what? Out of the 4 series in this round, in round 2, I think this one is probably going to be the most interesting one to watch. I believe that this one, when you're looking at both these teams, you got 2 premier point guards. You got Isaiah Thomas, you got John Wall. And when you're looking at these rosters, they match up pretty well. I think that these games are going to be very close throughout the series. So, looking at that, I don't have too much else to say in that regard. Just because I think that these teams match up, and I think it's going to be a great series. I think it's going to be a point guard battle between Isaiah Thomas and John Wall. You'll see Isaiah Thomas have a great game, and you'll have John Wall have a great game as well. You know what? I'm going to say this. I think that this series is going to go all the way. In this case, I think this series will go to Game 7. And I'm going to give it to Boston, and I'll tell you why I'm going to go to Boston. I think the advantage, and I said this for the Chicago Bulls series, one has to be with Al Horford. I think that his versatility as a big, being one of the better passing big men in this league, will help out the Boston Celtics. That's definitely going to help them out. As well, I think the Boston Celtics just have more depth. They can reach into their bench if something isn't working and kind of change it up a bit. I don't think the Washington Wizards really have that ability to do that. So considering that, I think ultimately the Boston Celtics will take this just because of their ability, their versatility, and their ability to change up things as the series goes on. So, as I said before, the Boston Celtics in 7. Now, we're going to go on to the next series. The series I really want to talk about, the Toronto Raptors versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, this one, it took me some time to kind of think about this, but ultimately, trying to be as unbiased as possible, I think ultimately, I have to give this to the Cavaliers. And hear me out. Let me explain my reasoning here. So I'm going to be looking at the Raptors series against the Milwaukee Bucks. And one thing I saw was that, whenever the Raptors kind of had a huge lead in that series, the Bucks kind of had the ability to kind of claw their way back into the game. And, the Raptors were able to kind of shake that off and win some of those games. But the fact of the matter is, if the Raptors go up against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they do that, especially what they did in Game 6 against the Milwaukee Bucks, where they had a 25-point lead at one point, and the Bucks actually came back in the 4th and had a lead. If you have games like that against the Cavs, you're not winning this series. So I think the Raptors will still have that issue in this round, and I think that's going to be a huge problem for them. So they might have some trouble winning. I think the second thing too is, I just don't think that Kyle Lowry is going to have a great series. And as much as I want him to, he hasn't shown that, and he hasn't shown that in the playoffs. So that's the other thing as well. I think he'll have a good game or two, but I just don't think he's going to be playing like he did in the regular season. And that's another reason why I just have my fear on that. And as well, I don't think DeRozan's going to have the same impact he had against the Bucks. The Cavs are going to play some tight defense on DeMar DeRozan. And the fact of the matter is, we're going to see LBJ on DeRozan. So, he's going to have a tough matchup going up against DeRozan, especially late in the game in the 4th, because LeBron's going to want to take on DeRozan to stop him. He's going to want to do that himself. Now, taking that all into account, we also have to say this as well. the Cavs are still the champions, and they showed that against the Pacers. They're gonna go hard and they're gonna try to win this series. So, you can't bet. You kind of can't bet against them in this sense. They haven't shown any weaknesses to say that they're not they're not the champs anymore, and that they have a crack in their armor, so to speak. So I'll say this: I think the Cavs will take it in 6. The 2 games that the Raptors will win, I think the first one will be kind of like a DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry kind of going off type deal. And I think that this will probably be in game 1 or game 2. Since the Cavs have had a lot of rest, I think Toronto will be able to take advantage of that. And we'll see a great game by Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. And probably after that, the Cavs are going to kind of up their game up a bit. I think the second game they'll win is probably going to be a grind out where it's going to come down to the fourth quarter and the Raptors are just going to grind it out. I think that's also going to be a home game as well. But after that, I think the Cavs are just going to have control of the series for the most part. I just thinking about it, just looking at everything, I just can't bet against the Cavaliers. I hope I'm wrong, but fact of the matter is, I just can't do it. So again, I think the Cavs take it in 6. Anyways, let me know what you think. Do you think my predictions are crazy? Do you think I'm right? Let me know. Please leave a comment down below. If you like this video, definitely leave me a like. And coming up soon, I'll be coming out with my prediction for the Western Conference. So keep your eyes out for that. Anyways, it's your boy Modern Speed signing out. Later, everyone.